Hey, everybody, this is Sherry Levon, and I am so excited to be back on Kingdom Purpose TV once again. And we have an amazing author that we're about to bring on, and you guys do not want to miss this. So please stay tuned, and we will be right back. The sun shall rise in my life. God is everything to me. Oh yes, when I buried my kids, it devastated me. I was lost, I went astray, I was mad at God. But he saved me, came and got me. He never left, I left him. Hey everybody, this is Sherry Levon coming live, and I have an amazing author with me today. Her name is Wanda Battle Frazier. So everybody give her a warm welcome. And Miss Wanda, we're so excited to have you on Kingdom Purpose TV.
It's so good to be here. It's so good to be here. Thank you.
You're so welcome. So we're going to dive right in to your book. Now, we know that you are with Page Turner Press, and we want to thank Paul Anthony for this amazing opportunity to interview you. And as you all know, on Kingdom Purpose TV, we come on every Wednesday at 11 p.m. So you will be able to view this on Kingdom Purpose TV this Wednesday. So Miss Wanda, I'm going to have you to jump right in, and I want you to let everybody know where you're from and let everybody know what the name of this book is and what had you to write it.
Okay. Well, I'm a native of Madison, New Jersey. I was born and raised there. Currently, I do reside in Newark, New Jersey. Color friends. Where should I start?
Color friends.
Yes. Color friends came out of a like a need, and then it took a life of its own. But I noticed one thing I noticed about female, or how catty we are towards each other.
Yes.
And we will tear somebody down before we build them up. At least
Yes.
females will tear another female down before we build them up. So I started, it was just annoying me so much. So I started just writing one day because I did want to write a story about women. And, even though we're different in a lot of things that we do and a lot of things that we say, we're all the same. We're all looking for the same thing. We want love. We want acceptance,
Yes.
And when I first started the story, I think I started with 3 women. I was taking 3 women who were friends. And then at some point, sometime, I switched the whole dynamic.
Wow.
And I said, okay, well, let me take 5 women and let me base it on 5 different ethnicities.
Yes.
To bring that more in, because, I don't know everything about an Asian woman, and she doesn't know everything about me. I don't know everything about a Hispanic woman. She doesn't know anything about me. So then that's when it really took a life of its own, when I added the other women, and then with the race difference.
Having that diversity. Yeah.
That diversity, yes. Because I figured now this is really going to be something.
And this is real.
Yeah, exactly. And I wanted to take a story that, I didn't want to, I'm trying not to be too hard on one race or one gender of woman or something like that. And I wanted to try and keep it even tone and mellow and stuff like that.
Right.
But Color Friends dive into all that. And I keep them, they have the same amount of education. They have the same amount of life experience. So they're equal on all that part. And then it comes down to one job, one high power job that's going to get the position.
Wow.
So then they have to start to compete on other levels, not just their intellect, but now their endurance, their brace, their drive, their perseverance of, you know, am I gonna give up? Am I gonna not do this? So it goes to another level.
Wow. So how many chapters are in the book?
This one is a quick read. It's about 11 chapters.
Hey. And you know what? In today's time, quick reads are good. I think that God has spoken to me about books and he said, get to the point.
Right.
And a lot of times we read books, and a lot of people who have become writers get caught up in the word count. They don't really take in account of, you might put 9 adjectives in before you actually say what you need to say. And God is saying, you done lost so many people. They skip over, they just say, you know what, let me go to the end and find out what happened. It's like,
right.
So God is saying, get to the point, let people know if you're talking about a blue sky, this say blue sky. Don't say twinkling, midnight, stormy, dreary. Like God is saying, oh my God, I'm gonna put the book down myself.
Exactly.
Get to the point, just get to it. And it makes for a better read, because I find that even when it's a quick read, you get it in your spirit, but then you'll go back and read it again. And it's something about that second and third read when it's a quick read, but it marinates in your soul. It's like your soul man starts to have some conviction about things. So in this, having these 5 women and dealing with the color of friends, I really like that, because today music has changed so much. You don't mean, when I look at music today and the women artists that are out there today, I never want to shame them or put them down, but I do want to look at their soulish realm and say, when I was growing up in the 70s and 80s, you had maybe 3 or 4 ladies that were kind of drastic, like Cher and Madonna and Millie Jackson. Millie Jackson was in my mama's time, but even then, they left what was on the stage. It was a performance. It wasn't a lifestyle.
And
it seems today in that title, Color Friends, it's as if the industry has totally converted us into it's perversion. It's nothing classy about it, because you've taken your performance to your lifestyle.
Correct.
And so we're competing with, in my opinion, we're competing with a spirit that is wicked. And when I listen to music made me fall in love, want that house and the picket fence, and want to be married and all that stuff. Like,
yes.
Music today,
it's bumping and grinding.
You ain't already got it. You probably don't want it. Because I'm like, you did all that song said.
Exactly.
I might not want you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because when one of the characters, the main character, who's, the story is told by the viewpoint of one of the main characters, who is the African American. Her name is Brenda. So she is telling the story from her viewpoint.
Wow.
And how she sees it. And I left it like that intentionally, because now I can have other chapters by other viewpoints. Additionally, but Brenda's viewpoint is from the time she grew up, her life, what her family was to her, and how she got to where she's from to where she's going to now. She does have a twin brother who was murdered.
Oh wow.
So her twin brother was her hero throughout this whole thing, and then he got murdered. And as she's going through this journey, she finds out who murdered her brother.
Wow.
So now her whole perspective changes.
Yes.
And how and the person that one of the other characters knew her brother as well. So she didn't know, in a sense, the brother had this secret life that she never knew about, but the other character knew. So she's trying to deal with that too, and her anger, and stuff like that.
Dealing with that soulish realm, I'm telling you.
And to find out that he was human. He he made mistakes. He did what he did. You know, he wasn't the worst of the worst, but he wasn't the bad of bad. But he had compassion and he had love, and he didn't care who you were. If you needed help, he was gonna, because he led with his heart. So he was, and that's how he got killed, trying to come to the aid of this other woman.
Oh,
But
wow.
he led with his heart. And Brenda, she was never like that. She was more like, you know, I'm me, you stay over there. I won't bother you, you don't bother me. But then when she learned who her brother was, oh, my grandson is calling me. Um, the type of person, yes, DJ. No, I'm not done. I'll call you. I'm sorry.
Okay. Look, I can edit that out, girl.
Okay, good.
For the TV show, we're gonna edit that out, okay?
Okay. I told her, I said, stay upstairs and be quiet.
Well, that's the good thing about when we interview it. I interview
Yeah.
it live on Facebook so that the authors in the network can kind of get a grips of it. But then when I go edit it for the show, girl, honey, I cut all that out, so you good.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good.
So it's great to see that in the book, like you said, she went. She was able to turn a new leaf because she was able to find out about what her brother was about, and she was a twin. So I can imagine my mother's a twin, and they're so much alike, and their intuition is so on point. So I can imagine in the story a sense of loss with
Yes, yes. Because and I'm not a twin, but I've always heard twins have connections, like they have feelings like, oh, I've been here, or this person been here before, and they feel the same thing about the same time and stuff like that.
they do.
So yeah,
And I
yeah.
act like my mother's. Now, what's crazy with twins and their children? Okay, my mama had a girl. My mama and her twin were pregnant at the same time. So can you imagine? Like, oh my God. But then
Okay.
when we came out, we ain't look nothing alike. And they tried to dress us like twins and stuff. And I'm like, I'm taller than her. Like, we're not twins.
Right.
But they do, like with my mom, it has a headache. It's amazing how she can call her sister, and the sister may have some kind of pain as well. It's like they feed off, not that they feed off from it, but it's as if when one is feeling a certain way, the other one can discern it and call and check and be like, I just called, you was on my mind, I just wanted to call. And, they throwing up, they throwing up over here. I'm like, oh my God. But it's amazing. But I act like my mom's twin sister, and my mama's twin sister acts like her daughter acts like my mom. So you would think they switched birth because I'm like my mom, but I'm not. And then I'm so like my aunt, but I'm not. So it's just really amazing, the twin life. I would have thought I might have wanted one, but nah, just one of me. Nah. Just one of me, hallelujah.
The original, right?
The original, girl. I gotta do it. Just one. But we ain't look nothing alike. And even now, she's 6 months older than me. But it's just amazing because our parents, it's just really fun to watch them. So what made you write this book? As far as I know it, when we say the color of friends, and all of us have a variety of races of people in our lives. And one of the things I can say about our race, you see all these other races and nationalities come to the United States, and they come together. They live together. They work together. Mm-hmm. It's like they come together for the common good to achieve what they need to achieve in 7 years and move on. Just like the Korean people, where they come in, they do the nail thing or the hair thing. They come in and they run it for 7 years. They don't get to pay any taxes or that kind of stuff. But then they work it so good that where in 7 years, they're able to turn it over to the next family. Right. So they can go on into something else. And then this family comes and it's repetitious. And then they've been there 20 years. Before you know it, they done been there 20 years.
Right.
And they're millionaires, and it's a whole nother family. You come in and be like, where Kim at? Be like, Kim. Be like, oh my God, you look like Kim. You ain't Kim. Be like, no, Kim gone. Be like, oh my God, well, who you, Judy?
You're right.
Like, what happened? So in writing this book and seeing the different races of people and seeing our people who, it's like, as you said, we rather look down on each other than look up. And then when somebody makes it, then you want to reconnect. And God is saying, in 2 Timothy 3, it says that there are some people that you have to turn away from. So as you wrote this book, what triggered the sense of bringing the different nationalities and like you said, not focusing just on us, not really being builders of each other, but what made you name it Color of Friends?
Like I said, the name came from once I don't know if an apple fell on my head one day. Once I took it from the 3 women to 5 women, and then I still needed to diversify that.
Yeah.
So the fact that I was focusing on the African American, Hispanic, Native American, Asian, and Caucasian.
Yes.
So that's what, I just named the Color of Friends. But the thing that you had said before, that how we don't stick together. And that's one of the things I talk about in the book, because you're right. Hispanic people will buy one house,
Yes.
bring the whole family over.
I would love to be a landlord.
And they all live together. They all share the pot, and that's it. But I know this now because even now, currently, I live with my daughter and my 5 grandsons.
Yes.
5 boys. So it's always going on here. And I was thinking the other day, my birthday was yesterday, and I'm thinking, okay, by the end of this year, I need to move out. I helped my daughter get established. Hopefully, her and her boy her and her boys got a nice home, 5-bedroom home.
Right.
So I'm just, hopefully she can get to the point where she can, maintain this all by herself. And then I have to go. I have to get my little hole in the wall somewhere to get
girl,
my.
you need to build something on the land, honey. You just don't go nowhere and give nobody else no money. Just build on the land. Be like, girl,
Yeah, right.
houses out there, going and put me about 2 of them, put them together. Girl, go get you 2 of them. Look, they call them, girl, get you about 3 of them. They be $38 a piece. Put about 3 of them together and be like, now, honey, this is my little room over here in the corner, and I'm over here. But I did that. I moved in with my mom after I got divorced.
Okay.
I co-have with my mom, and it's been the best move for me, because one of the things about Black people, we don't own nothing. So at the end of the day, keep giving out rent. 10 years, you done gave away $500,000. And so God is saying, you need that back. So in my opinion, we as people need to get back on our land of our people that own homes, own land. We need to get back on that land, build on that land, and come together and grow, because that's what they're doing when they come over here. They don't come over here to work for us. They come over here to create jobs for us to work for them. So I think that us as women, and what I've experienced with just being in a nonprofit world, sometimes people will say, well, people don't support you. They didn't support Jesus. I'm going, well, how long y'all going to use that line? Because God said, okay, well, now that you told me that, what is your excuse? And it's different if you don't know that. If you had no idea that they didn't receive Jesus back then, that means you are an unbeliever and you don't know. I give you some grace, okay?
Right.
But if you just told me that line, God says, what is your excuse? Because now that you know that, they perished for the lack of knowledge. So if you see someone in your community, your race that's trying to do something and move for change, and you don't jump on the bandwagon, it's as if you buried the gift in the ground, like he sent the 5 out that had gifts, and everybody did double but the 1. God is saying we got to be more for each other and help each other, because when we rise up, we're supposed to be at eye level. Correct. Ain't nobody supposed to be here. Ain't supposed to be stagnant. Ain't supposed to be stagnant. You fall, you get up. When you get up, we come up, and we're all on eye level. And so is that what your book is helping to characterize, is seeing the different ways those women interact and how they were able to come up? Because like you said, they all got the same kind of education. They all kind of got the same
background.
But then it stops somewhere, and we become selfish, and it becomes about us. And we blame 400 years ago of being slavery. I'm like, honey, you know how long ago? Half y'all ain't even Black no way, okay? Half y'all white, and some of them ain't even got no African in us, okay? But like, y'all American, and some of y'all came from white people and Indians, or white people and Black people. So a lot of these mixed people, a lot of us are not from Africa, first of all. Correct. And second of all, we're Native Indians. A lot of us are West Indians. We're Indians. They're calling us Black, but really we're Indians. And I even met a Moor. and I had to go
Oh,
deep and really research what this was. But we have been called what they call us, but a lot of us are not from Africa. Our descendants don't come from Africa. You'd be surprised.
exactly.
A lot of us, mine didn't come from Africa. So
Yeah.
mine was West Indies and Native American, Cherokee, and Blackfoot and white. We even
Okay.
had some Irish in us. You'd be surprised
Yeah. Yeah.
of what we are, and we ain't 100 nothing. So,
Right.
so
Yeah. And
this,
the Moors were in southern Italy too. They were down in Sicily. Yeah. Moors
yeah.
were down there. Yeah.
So it's
So
like, oh, okay. And then we look at some of them West Indies people, and they're dark skinned and have beautiful hair. So all the people that's of color that have good hair ain't cause they mix with white people. It's because
correct.
the Indians had it anyway. Okay.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so it blessed me. I can't wait to get this book. I'm gonna order probably two of them because we always keep one in our catalog down here. So we're gonna get your book.
Okay.
And also, we send books to inmates in prison. So we're going to ask that probably your publishing company send us a book because then what happens is every quarter we pick a prison that we're going to send books to, and so we have a lot of authors just mail us books, and then we send them out, and we have that contract with the prisons to get the books out because you just can't mail a book to an inmate because they send it back. But we are a publishing company, so we're able to do so. Even through Amazon, you can't even order books through Amazon anymore and have them in the jail. So we now have become that wavelength to get them in there. So whether it's women prisons, we even now have the juveniles facilities locked down. And it's sad, but I feel like they read a lot of Bibles, they read a lot of that stuff, but they need some other stuff to read. Like it's nothing wrong with reading your Bible every day, and most of them knowing them, and they put Jesus in there, but they coming out mad at God at the end of the day. And it's like, okay, we're reading all these Bibles and getting all these churches coming in and singing to you and all this old stuff. But what happens is a lot of people are not reconnecting with their history. They're not reconnecting with really who they are.
Right.
And then they're caught up in the ways of prison. So you got to lie your way out of there. You got to be somebody else when you're in there. A lot of people have been violated while they're in there. So when they come out, they're angry. And then the first person they're mad at is God. They blame God for everything. So God is saying today, as we get these authors and we're saving souls with books, God says, get these books out there to the people who ain't got a choice but do nothing but read. So I said, God showed me where, and he showed me prison. So as I meet these authors, I get your books to inmates because you don't know whose life you're going to change.
I didn't even know that. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
That's amazing. That's great.
So we definitely going to get your books. And then I tell people locally, find out about your local prisons there in your own communities because it starts there. Because it's those people that are going to come back out that's angry and they need to know somebody local wrote a book. Right. And then we connect them and say, hey, even though you're in there, you can send me a letter and a manuscript and I can publish a book for you. And it becomes to where that becomes your commissary money or it becomes child support money. It's like God has created a way to help them. It's just we got to come together and to help them. So I'm just excited about the color of friends. I want all of you out there in the Kingdom Purpose TV to know. I'm going to also schedule you to come on our Sunday show. I come on Sundays Sundays at 4 p.m. So what I may do is have you to call in on Sunday. We're going to talk about your book again, and we're going to bring you on our radio show. And all you do is call in, and I'll give Paul Anthony all that information, but you'll call in, and we will talk about the book. You get a 30-minute interview to just share and talk about the book. You can even pick a chapter to where you may read a chapter or read a little bit of the book just for curiosity reasons. And but to get the word out, because a lot of people that get on the show, Kingdom Purpose TV is now in front of over 30 or 40 million people every month. And so the word is getting out. People are coming on the shows. And then after they come on the show, a lot of great opportunity is coming to them because they're being seen. A lot of people are getting radio opportunities. They're starting their own podcast shows and things of this nature. So I'm just blessed that God is using me as a vessel to just be a blessing to other people. So if you again let everybody know your name, where they can get this book before we get out of here, and I think people will really appreciate that because I can't wait to get it myself.
That's great. I love you, Sherry. Thank you.
I love you too.
Again, my name is Wanda Battle Frazier. Color Friends. It's going to be published through Turner Press. Press Turner. Oh, how can I do this?
Yes, you got
Yeah.
it, girl. You got
It's the revised. It's getting revised, so it should be available through Press Turner within the next month or two. And I will definitely have the exact date for
it.
that. If, even Sunday, I will let you know by then Sunday.
Okay. Well, a lot of people, for all of you all out there, God is doing an amazing thing. He's doing amazing work in a lot of people's life. And we are just so blessed to be a part of it. So I just want to thank you for tuning in. For you guys that's going to be watching on Kingdom Purpose TV this coming Wednesday at 11 p.m., this interview is going to be on there. And guess what? You ain't going to hear no kids or nothing. I promise.
Okay.
All right.
Do that editing, girl.
Do that editing, girl. Do that editing.
Thank you
God
so much.
So good.
Thank you.
You are
Thank
so welcome. And to all of you all, we want to thank you on Facebook and our Facebook authors group for tuning in and watching us, because God is just doing an amazing thing. So as we always say when we close this show, I just want to be like Jesus. What about you, Miss Wanda?
I want to be like Jesus too. Yes.
I just want to be like Jesus. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in and on our show. If you are interested in being a guest on our show, please make sure that all you have to do is contact me on the website. And God, I just want to be like Jesus.
I just want to be like Jesus.
Hey.
Bye-bye. I just want to be like I just want to be like you. Make me more like you. Make me more like you. Make me more like you.
Hey everybody, this is Sherry Lavon, and I hope you enjoyed this amazing interview that we had with Miss Wanda. And as you all know, we have wonderful guests that come on our show every week. I like to share and give you all the good news about what's going on in our community and anyone that is purchasing a book. So thank you so much for joining, and make sure you tune in this Wednesday at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at kingdompurposetv.com. God bless. The sun shall rise in the light. God is everything in me. Oh yes, when I bury my kids, it devastated me. I was lost, I went astray, I was mad at God. But he saved me, came and got me. He never left, I left him.